Hi friends, welcome to Cooking Craft. This is Sadhana here, and today before we go into the recipe, I would like to thank you all for supporting me in this journey. If you like my recipes, please like, share it with your family and friends, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go into the recipe. Today's recipe is Idli Podi, and this Idli Podi is given with perfect measurement. Let's go and see quickly how to make this Idli Podi. These are some dry red chilies that I have taken. So we are going to do a dry roast. I have not added any oil to this, and we will also keep it on a very low flame when we are frying. And what we have to do is we have to take it with the stem. So don't forget to do that. We are going to take it with this stem. In case if it's broken, the reason is that the seeds will go into the pan and it can get burnt, and the flavor of the idli podi will not be very good. So keep that as a tip in the mind. So we are going to just roast this on a very low flame. This has been about 2 minutes. I am roasting it on a very low flame. Now you can see a little bit of shine which has come, and there will be a mild smell of the chili also which will come, and you can see that it's just puffing up a little, means this is completely done. Now what we will do is we are just going to transfer this into a plate. If you have burnt seeds like this, you can discard them. Don't grind them because they will give you a very odd flavor. So don't do this. This is the reason I said that you take it with the stem. And once we fry it, like after roasting it, we will be removing the stem like this, and we will be grinding it. I've taken this black till. Now I'm going to roast this again without any oil. I have already washed the till, and I have dried it. If you don't have time, you can wash and immediately also put it in the pan, and make sure that you keep a lid because it will all crackle. So you can keep a plate if you are not used to it. So we will roast this for a minute now on a very low flame. I just put the lid because it was all crackling. You can see this. This means it's done. Now what we will do is we will just remove this in a plate. I've taken some white till now here. This is also washed and dried. So I'm going to put this in the pan now, and we will roast it on a very low flame, and we will also put a lid on it. It's been about a minute on a very low flame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. Make sure that you roast everything on separately because we don't want to burn the ingredients here. So we will roast everything separately, and we'll put it in a plate for it all to cool down. Before we roast the dal, what we are going to do is to take a dry towel, kitchen towel, and we are just going to wipe the dal like this. This is just for you in case if there's any kind of dirt, it will all come out. So we will do this as a prep work. Make sure the towel is dry. I've taken some chana dal after cleaning. Now we are going to also roast the chana dal. You can also roast chana dal and urad dal together, but I would like to roast it separately because the urad dal gets roasted very fast, and they turn black in color, and so once it is turned color, it gives you a bitter taste and the flavor of the podi goes off. So now even the chana dal we will be roasting on a very low flame for 1 to 2 minutes. I've been roasting this for about 2 minutes on a very low flame. The tips here is you have to roast everything on a very low flame. And now this is done. We'll also remove this in a plate. We will also clean the urad dal like this, just to remove all the powdery texture from that, and it will become clean. Since we are not washing the dal, we are going to do this. I have also taken urad dal. We cleansed this with a dry towel. Now I am going to roast this in a very low flame. Friends, all the measurements for this podi is given at the end of the video. Keep stirring the dal continuously. Don't leave it in one place. If you just don't stir and leave it, it will all burn. So make sure you continuously stir this. I've been roasting this for about 2 minutes. Now you can see it has become golden brown and the aroma of the dal is also coming out very well. At this point, we will just take it out from the pan and put it in a plate. We will not leave it in the pan because it can get burnt. So we will immediately transfer all the ingredients what we roast. We will be transferring that to a normal room temperature plate. The secret ingredient for this podi, idli podi, is kadhi patta. So don't forget this. If you don't get it, I mean if you are living in a place where you don't get kadhi patta, then it is fine. Otherwise, if you are getting it, please do add this. It gives a very good flavor to the idli podi, and not only that, it's very good for health. Make sure you wash the kadhi patta in a running water. And also friends, if you get a lot of kadhi patta, you can do the same thing. You can just wash them and wipe it with a towel, roast it like this, and you can also store it in a bottle. So in the rainy season when you don't get kadhi patta, you can use it. Now you can see it's ready. There's a crispy sound coming in this, means it's ready. Now we'll remove this to a plate. I've taken some rock salt. Since I'm taking rock salt, I am just putting it in the pan. If you are taking powdered salt, you don't have to do this. So this we will just roast for 30 seconds just for the moisture to dry from that. You can hear the sound. I hope you can hear the sound. Yeah, then this is ready. Now I'm going to remove this and put it in a plate. I'm just taking half a teaspoon of oil to roast the hing. Since I am taking this kind of hing, I am doing this process. But if you are taking a powder hing, you don't have to do this. You can directly put the powder when you are grinding it. But this hing gives you a very good flavor. In case if it is available, just try and use this. And also a tip here with this hing is, like if you don't do this process and when you use it directly, it will not mix well in your mixie. So make sure you just add just a little half a teaspoon of oil or less than that to do this process. Do not use too much oil also, because you might get a little bad smell in your idli powder after a few days. So this idli powder, we can store it for about 4 to 5 months outside the fridge. And also try and use a dry spoon Now this is ready. Now we are going to remove this also. Now all this has been roasted. We will allow this to come to the room temperature. It is a must that it has to come to the room temperature. So this will take about an hour or 2 hours. So we will wait for that. Then we will go and see how to grind them. After roasting all this, I had kept it under the fan. It's about 2.5 hours now and completely to the room temperature. So now what we are going to do is take a mixie and let it be dry. Don't have any dampness in that, because your idli podi can get spoiled. Now I am just adding this hing over here. And the red chilies. Now in the red chilies we have already removed all the stems. Now we are going to add the red chilies here. Now we will not grind it very smooth. We'll just grind it coarse, because after this we will be adding this to grind, so it will become very powdery. So we will make it coarse. Now when you are opening, just be a little away. This is how you have to do it. Now what we will do is we will start adding all these salt, kadi patta. Mix the dal well like this. You can mix everything like this. So what happens when you mix it like this? When you grind it separately, everything, if you don't mix it properly, it will have a different flavor. So at this point we will nicely mix all this and add it to the mixing. Now if you can't do it at one go, we can also take it in 2 or 3 parts. So now this also I am going to grind coarse. This is exactly the texture that we need. So now at this point it depends on you whether you wanted this texture or little more smoother also is okay, or after grinding everything you can run it one more time. So right now I am not able to do all in one go, so I am just doing it in portion. So let me grind all this dal now and come back to you. Now we have done this also. Now what I am going to do is, in the first portion we added chilli, and in this there is no chilli. Now I am going to put everything together and give it a nice mix. Now what I did was I added the first chilli portion and the second dal portion all together, and I got it into this texture. You can see this is what it has to be. If you like it more coarse, you can keep it, or if you like it still fine, you can keep it, but this is how it has to be. At this point you can decide, you taste and see whether the salt is all right. Then you can always add salt and grind it. If your chili or your spice levels are less, what you can do is dry roast some more chilies, cool it down, grind and add to it. If it slightly become more, you can always dry roast your dal and also add if your spices become more. And you will store this in a dry container, and this can be kept outside the fridge for minimum 4 to 5 months, and do not use a wet spoon. Now I will mix this powder with gingerly oil and show you how it looks, and this can be taken with your dosa, Oothapam, idli, any South Indian tiffins. You can have this idli podi. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to put everything in this plate, because the mixie is still hot. So I will just cool it down, and then I am going to fill it up in a bottle. Meanwhile, the idli powder, which will come to the room temperature in some time, by then I am just going to show you. I have taken some gingerly oil here. You can take any oil or you can also take ghee. So I am just going to add some powder to it. Friends, this is a perfect measurement, spice, salt and the dal. So just try with this measurement once and let me know how it turned out. Now this can be had with your idlis and dosas, and this podi we can use it for making podi dosa and also podi idlis. We can use this. So please friends, try this recipe, and this is a perfect measurement. Try with this kind of measurement and let me know in the comments how it turned out to be. And if you like my recipes, please share it with your family and friends. And I'm going to put this in a dry bottle and store it. And friend, if you are new to my channel, friends, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.